How many people is too much for a podcast?
I think like 4 is like max. I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we could do that and do like a photographic
reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We can get Armando.
Oh fuck.
No, please. That would be funny. That would be funny. Well, hello to the.
Oh shit, are we live?
Yeah.
Oh.
To the. I thought that was great. Actually, it was like a great opening. It was just quite kind of chill. Hello to the few people that are probably listening to this. To the first ever edition of the StrathTV podcast. We are gonna name it. We were trying to discuss what we might name it. And we didn't really come up with anything. So we'll come back to you next week. And hopefully we have some good suggestions. If you want to suggest something, if you are listening,
send your suggestion out to the PO box.
Yeah, exactly. Write to us at 57 Richmond Street, 51 Richmond Street, Glasgow. Not 57, because that's something else.
Yeah, that's one of the other buildings.
Yeah.
G1 1XU.
Yeah.
Send it to the StrathTV Instagram.
Yeah.
Great idea. Thank you. So yeah, my name is Aidan. I am your host, I guess. I think I'll probably be on most of these, if not all. And I am the former president of StrathTV before I got really depressed and gave up on doing anything. My somewhat co-host, who will probably be here most of the time as well, Gordon. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Gordon. I am the current president, and I am not as depressed as the former president. Soon to be depressed, probably though. Yeah.
Ah, thanks. That was a cheery introduction from both of us. And we're kind of gonna rotate our guests every week on this podcast. We might have some returning ones, but our first ever guest on the StrathTV podcast is Niki, and we've worked on several projects with Niki now.
I just realised we haven't second named anyone.
That is true. Yeah, I actually was thinking this before we recorded this. I have no idea how to say your last name, Niki.
Yeah, is it Reiter?
Yeah, Reiter.
Okay.
Reiter. I think we discussed this at some point before, but yeah, I'm Aidan Cooper. Gordon Todd.
Gordon Todd.
And Niki
Reiter.
Do you want me to Niki Reiter?
Yeah. Woo. It feels like put on pressure, like when someone says to me, like, you know, say this word. Like Michelle has done that to me many times. Like, teach me some Spanish words, and then she's like, da da da, and then say it, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. It's too embarrassing. What if I butcher your language? But yeah, that is the lot of us. Sorry, we kind of cut into your introduction there, Niki. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Niki. I am currently training to do acting. Well, I do acting still on the side, but you know, training is the professional way of putting it. I currently go to college, and yeah.
Which college?
New College, Lanarkshire. Very good college.
Very good college.
Very good college. So yeah.
We're currently sending this out from round the corner of City of Glasgow College. Oh wait, fuck, where did they say that, didn't we?
Yeah, I suppose we did. We are in the...
You can cut it out. You can
It's
cut
going to be
out
a
stuff.
lot of cutting round.
Gordon has just pressed his cough button to ask me, but I think it's still picked up if we can swear. I'm going to say yes.
Wait it out, man.
Because...
You can make a podcast like explicit or clean.
Yeah.
Like you can say if it's swearing or it's not swearing.
Yeah. No, this is a fucking explicit podcast, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Aidan just made it that.
Yeah. No turning back now.
We'll set some ground rules, I guess, which is like, we'll keep it to a minimum, but you're allowed, you know.
We'll keep it at 15.
A couple of bombs. You know, you can say the word bitchy as many times as you want because it's not swearing technically.
You're allowed 2 fucks.
You're allowed 2 fucks.
Only 2.
Only 2. And we just used them, so.
Well, is it 2 per person?
Gosh darn it.
What the bleep?
So Johnny has been trying his best not to swear because he swore in front of his gran and felt guilty. So when we've been editing in here, he's been saying a lot of what was it, like gosh darn it's and
fiddlesticks.
yeah, other things I'm forgetting, but it was funny. I think we interrupted you again, Nikki.
I don't even know what I
Did
was
you
on
finish?
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
College, acting. You've worked on a couple of projects with us now, which we'll talk about throughout the episode. But when we first met you it was 2022, when we were filming our first project that we kind of all did together as like the current sort of team just now, Photographic, which we will talk about in a little bit. And yeah, that's how we met Niki. Who did you just see like the casting call kind of? It was like a Facebook group or something that Tom had put out, the former president.
It was for Facebook, and it was actually like originally one of like the very first short film I was gonna do, but it ended up being the second one because I'd done a short film just before I filmed this one, which ended up being my first one. But technically, I got the role first. It was my first role I got. So it's kind of a special moment.
Was that the shot that you shot in City of Glasgow College, like on the stairs?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know you knew about that.
Yeah, I think I asked you when I met you if you'd been in anything, and then you said the same thing. Like either you'd shot it or you were about to, and then you told me about it, and I searched it, or you showed me it. I can't remember.
Oh Lord, the
Yeah.
fact that you've seen it scares me because there's just. Obviously, I was just training, like, I was just starting, like, out, and it was...
Something.
You know what, I really enjoyed the experience. It was great, but looking at my personal... Though, I got told, because I worked with the director again a few weeks ago, actually. A few weeks? No, a few months ago now. And he was like, no, you were the best actor out of all of them. I was like, don't say that. That's a lie. You're lying. But, you know what? I'll believe it because I have grown now, you know, as you can see through all the StrathTV projects I've done.
Yeah, it's basically like a little diary of your progress as an actor is just through StrathTV projects, which I don't know if that's something to be proud of or not. But, we're happy to have you for them because I feel like, you know, some of them especially you really made and they wouldn't have been possible without your performance.
Well, there's a reason we like going back to people as well.
Yeah.
Because like there's only a few actors. Obviously, we won't name names, but that we've worked with and then never went back with because they were a fucking nightmare. But then like yourself and Finlay, and then now Jacob and Megan, a few people that we like working with.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get all of them on this podcast at some point. Yeah. We only worked with them once as well. But we'll get him down from Dundee, Frankie, because that man has an amazing voice.
Yes,
and he would be very good on this.
That man's voice is like butter.
Yeah, that will be when he comes in for the event, the 10-year anniversary event.
Did you say to him?
Yeah, he said he'll be here, and I think save him a journey, get him on.
We could do it before,
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll ask him. Actually, I remember. Well, we're on the topic. We are having a 10th anniversary event on May the 20th at 6 o'clock in the Mandela Room Auditorium. If you're feeling fancy, in the Strathclyde Union where we are recording this right now. And if you want to come along, tickets are free. They're up on Native. We have the link in our Instagram bio as well. You'll get to see all our projects that we've worked on kind of over the last 10 years and like mostly the ones we've done this year because we've done quite a lot, and you'll get to hear from a lot of the creatives behind it and both in front of and behind the camera. So yeah, tell your friends, tell your family, come along if you get the chance. It'll be great. We'll probably have snacks. We'll probably have...
Yeah, Jamie's in the process of that. She's hoping to get champagne, so
whoa.
No promises, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we're going...
It's either going to be champagne or popcorn, no in between.
It's not... You don't need to be black tie, but like we're all going to be black tie if you want to kind of join in for the fun. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, shameless plug. out of the way. This has been about 10 minutes now of
I don't think we still explained what StrathTV is.
introduction.
Remember though, you can always cut it. Like that's a lot of this, you'll be cutting out the pauses, and you'll be cutting out this, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we might keep this in.
Yeah, I was just gonna...
That's me explaining.
It might just be you the entire time. It's just 20 minutes of you.
Yeah.
Stop. I feel so special.
So we'll now transition into the actual podcast, I suppose, and I have a little list of topics on my phone to kind of go through. We'll kind of somewhat stick to it. We don't need to exactly. So I feel like it's fun, and I love listening to podcasts that just start with like a random story, and I know that we're, maybe 10 minutes or less, depending on how much I edit this, into the podcast. But we had some fun today.
Oh my fucking god.
That was too many fucks.
That's both you said your twos. That's both you said.
Yeah, I was planning on saving mines for this, but that's...
Yeah, Niki's still got lots
Both.
of
Both of them.
Yeah, you've still got
Fs.
both.
F's to go. So we were shooting a project today, secret little thing. We shot some of it a little while ago. We had some stuff going on just in our lives in general, so we've finally come back to finish it off, and we did that today. But when we came in, Gordon had not arrived yet, and me and Cameron, one of the fellow StrathTV members, our current treasurer,
Current treasurer, future president.
future president, whoa, leaking the news.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his inauguration is in
That's a good
August.
point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait for that. And yeah, we had gone in to get our equipment today, and we got it all out. It was fine.
Just like to clarify again, I was not here.
Gordon was not here. This would not have happened if Gordon was
Uh-huh,
here,
uh.
of course, because Gordon, he's always on the ball, and his brain is never a little bit foggy.
No,
never.
Never.
The old age, like despite his old age, his brain is clear.
Clear as a whistle.
He's basically a scientific marvel at this point. So yeah, we'd gone in to get our equipment. We get our equipment, and I'm locking up the cage, and I pick up a lock that was in front of me. It was the only lock I could see. I lock the cage, and I'm like, this is a little bit stiff, actually, to get back in. But then I do it, and then as soon as I do it, I go, do I have a swear? Like,
You want to take one of my swears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, pass it, lifeline, pass it over.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
There we go.
Shit. It's the wrong lock. Basically, what had happened was our old lock, which I have the key for somewhere. I've moved house about 3 times since then. So it's somewhere, maybe. It used to be kept in my wallet, but then I took it out to make way for the condom.
The condom.
The Strath Union branded condom. It's been in there for a year and a half now. Stay safe, kids. And
Speaking from experience.
that's a story for another time. Oh yeah, when we talk about tea, oh my god.
Yeah.
We can get into that when we talk about tea. Oh, I can't wait for that one. So yeah, I'd locked it with the wrong lock, basically. And we're like, shit, that's not great. So we're like, we'll sort this later. Like, we can still film. So we go about. And then I tell Gordon. And Gordon is not very happy, understandably. But
Had some colourful words that I'm
He
no
had
longer
some-
allowed to say because I've used all my
all your swears.
swears.
So yeah, and then we've finished our day of shooting. It was all successful. We kicked about. We got told off in Goma. We got a coffee and an oat hot chocolate. What was the Greg's salad you had?
Oh, I had a chicken and bacon Greg
chicken and
salad.
bacon, yeah.
Chicken and bacon Greg's
Did you say
salad.
an oat hot chocolate?
An oat hot chocolate? Yeah.
What?
With no soy whipped cream. She did not want soy whipped cream.
Listen, there's a balance. You can't mixing milks. Right, out of experience, I didn't have enough like milk left for my cereal the other day, so I tried to mix regular milk with almond milk, thinking it would taste good. It was an abomination.
It's different consistency.
That is pretty Phil. I actually, jeez, we're tangenting.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
I've never heard of oat hot chocolate. That's what I was.
Oh yeah, it's quite a.
It's
quite
just
a
with
common.
oat milk.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I was like
common.
thinking porridge and chocolate. Never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Ignore me. I'm an old man.
No. So, ever since I dropped out of university, bombshell. I have worked at Starbucks. Okay, I've worked at 2 different Starbucks now, and at my old one, this guy used to come in, and the first time he came in, like he was a regular, but like the first time he came in while I was working there, he came in and he asked for it was coconut milk, oat milk, and almond milk mixed together in his latte, and I was like, that is crazy. And he came in a lot, and the reason he did it is because there used to be like a sign when they first got the milks that had the 3 of them listed next to each other, and people thought that it was like coconut, oat,
like a thing, like
almond
a drink.
milk, like that was the milk.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he's obviously asked for that, tried it, and really liked it. So that's just what he gets.
That's
now
weird.
on. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
teach their own. Yeah.
So yeah, Nikki, your oat hot chocolate is not that weird from someone that works at Starbucks. You get a lot of very, very strange orders.
It's okay. It's not the weirdest thing on my likes of food.
I mean, you are Hungarian, not to get.
Well, right.
Whoa.
Not to
But
get,
the combination that I love and right, you know the controversy between pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm scared of saying this because I could really get this. Could
We're
be
going
like
way off tangent
this
here.
could
as
be
well.
like, I like pineapple, red onion on pizza together, and you know what? You think it's bad, and it's really good. I promise you. Like the taste of the onion and the pineapple.
Yeah, because I feel like the whole thing about pineapple, like Hawaiian pizza, is like the saltiness of the ham and the sweetness of the pineapple works.
It's perfect.
I don't know so much about the onion, but
Yeah.
again, don't knock it till you try it.
I reckon I would like that. I am quite I like pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
Do you, Gordon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, this is
Well,
a safe space for pineapple
unanimous.
followers.
Yeah, this room is the pineapple on pizza lover. That's what we should call it.
Pineapple on pizza.
The Pineapple on Pizza podcast.
Or rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, have a good time making a logo for that. But yeah, I think. Oh, jeez, this is tangent to tangent to tangent. But
Yeah,
you
how are we
know-
going to circle this back to?
Oh, don't worry.
Okay,
My segues will be God tier.
I trust your faith.
Do you guys have any idea who Keith Lee is?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, well, it's flopped a bit. Basically, he's this guy on TikTok, and he's a food reviewer, right? And he's just like a guy, and he's really cool. And he like does really good food reviews, and I really enjoy like watching his content. And he always says that he is a texture person. And I had never had a way to describe like how I like food before, and that really summed it up for me.
Yeah.
So like, I like something can taste nice, but like, do you know, if I drank all my food as a smoothie, I would hate it. It's more about the texture. So I think that like the soft kind of juicy pineapple with like the crispy red onion, you know, on a pizza
Yeah.
would be really nice.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm more of a taste person though. Like sometimes, like if something just doesn't taste nice, it's like. But also, like, oh no, sorry. What I was trying to say is like, see texture, it puts me off. I was talking to you about this earlier, like the salmon, like
Yeah.
like smoked salmon or raw salmon. It's like the texture, just it's just like not nice.
Excuse me. The what?
Salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon. Well, English is my second language, so really.
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
matter.
Right, I just feel like I'm just bullying her.
Whoa, cancelled.
Michelle says it the same way. She says salmon, and it's like no. She's like, why the fuck's there an L in it? Then it's like, well, salmon.
Salmon. It just doesn't.
Sorry,
It's like potato
okay.
potato.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a right way of saying it, and a wrong way of saying it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well-
Since it's your second language, we'll let you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, as we discovered today, there is a right way and a wrong way to break open a lock. Segue.
Fucking done it.
And the wrong way is with paper clips. What they do in the movies does not work.
I can't believe a security guard actually advocated for that. They were like, oh, well, if you don't have bolt cutters, try fucking go on YouTube and learn how to lockpick. Like, aye, okay.
Aye, just real quick.
Just 5-minute YouTube
nip it.
video. Just some,
Yeah.
here's some paper clips.
I think we would have been better waiting for the bolt cutters.
Probably.
Yeah, in 2 days' time.
Yeah.
But instead, we just bashed it open.
I'm sporting 2 broken fingers.
Yeah. So
I've literally got 2 hammer marks in both in my index finger knuckle and my thumb knuckle.
it's a real shame. I feel deeply sorry for Gordon, and it's all my fault. I injured him myself. Like I took that hammer and chisel and I hit you with it. Much like Finlay to Niki in Photographic.
To Katie.
Oh, to Katie.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, wrong person. Katie, our vice president, who
Yes.
is a bit
Her
elusive.
Vice president in absentia.
Yes. Well, maybe we'll get Katie on the podcast at some point if we ever see her.
Yeah, if she's alive.
Yeah. Maybe she can sing some songs or something.
Yeah.
We'll cover that when Katie's on the podcast. We'll get her on the podcast. So yeah, we got the cage open.
No. I feel like we're missing out a lot here. Okay. We went to the security guards, asked them if they could break in for us. They were like, no, but we can come and have a look at it. So I dragged the security guard over, and he tried keys as if like random keys would work. I mean, in his defence, he did say like a lot of the padlocks, sometimes like the shittier padlocks, the bad padlocks, sometimes it's just like a universal key, which is kind of dumb, but whatever. That didn't work, so he says if you can, get a hammer and chisel and whack it, or use paper clips and go on YouTube and figure it out. So we tried the second method, never worked, and then I went on a wild goose chase to get tools. I went up the stairs because there was no union staff at all, so I chapped on the security door and explained the ordeal to a lovely woman. And she was like, I'm not fucking helping you break into a cage full of equipment. I don't know who you are. So I had to prove who I was. She took me upstairs 8 floors to the union offices. We got a hammer chisel, thin chisel, flat chisel, and a screwdriver. Took them back down, whacked utter fuck out of the padlock. This is also after using everything inside the cupboard. We used a wooden mallet. We used a big 2 different metal poles. We almost grabbed Niki by the ankles and used her. And finally, the padlock just wasn't for having it, but we realised the softer metal that the padlock hooks into.
Yeah, it's kind of like part of the cage locking mechanism, I guess.
That was nice and soft, so we just ended up whacking that with the chisel. I hit my hand twice, didn't cry because I'm a big boy, and yeah, we got in.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Woo.
We also had to get, so we bent utter fuck. I'm using all my swear words for like the next couple of weeks.
Maybe because you're president, you should get a pass.
I agree with that. Thank you.
But try and keep it to like
I
an
will do my
acceptable
best.
level.
I will do
I
my
feel
best.
like so far you've done an acceptable level.
Yeah, I'm trying my best as well.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the best that Gordon's
That's,
done.
that's the best you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So we managed to get it off, but in the process, the very soft, malleable metal, we bent it, so we couldn't then, once we get the padlock off, we still couldn't get the doors open, and then we got lovely security guard John to also attempt to do it, and it took us a good 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Finally got there, we all celebrated, Aidan bought John a pint, and yeah, we managed to get in the cage.
I think that $3.50 in the Union Bar is a small price to pay.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
To get back in and get all of her many thousands of pounds of camera equipment.
Yeah.
And my cat's carrier. What would she do without that? Do you know today when I took it out to bring it through here?
Did she
Saw it and she was instantly in fear. I walked downstairs, she was sleeping in her bed, one eye open, looking at the box. Like, she's just in fear.
That's so sad.
I felt terrible for her.
I think I'll need to buy her a bag of biscuits
Or a pint.
or a pipe. Yeah.
Depends what mood she's in. So yeah, that is the somewhat long story. We've had a day, really.
We've had a long day,
It's been a day, and I forced both Gordon and Niki against their will to get in the recording studio, record this right now, because I knew that we'd never do it.
Yeah,
ever again.
he threatened to lock up our equipment again if we didn't. So
Yeah, I went out earlier on and I bought another lock, and I placed it tactically so that I could lock it again and just inconvenience everyone. But I got a little bit scared when Gordon came down with a hammer, and I was like,
maybe not.
maybe don't.
Considering you seen what I'll do in my own hands, never mind yours.
Yeah, and I quite like hands, for the most part. Yeah, we could go on a tangent about hands, but let's not.
I mean, personally, I'm more of a foot man, but
Of course.
least said about that, the better.
Maybe for like sexual health awareness, we should have a very open conversation about all of our kinks.
Yeah, we'll definitely get cancelled, but
Yeah, we'll save that.
Not the first. Not the
Not
first.
the
time
first.
Trump
Yeah,
Can't
used
come
it
in
for
too
that.
strong. So yeah, our first proper topic on the agenda today. We'll definitely get better at this as time goes on to kind of get through things kind of quickly. Is just having a quick chat about Photographic, the first project that we all kind of worked on together. I started university in 2021 and lasted until 2022. And Gordon, 2019, but
Yep.
hadn't joined the club until not long after me.
Yeah, I was in my third year. So I think that would be what 20.
It was 2021, just a couple of months
Yeah.
after I joined, because I joined like as soon as I started uni kind of thing. And then obviously, as we've heard, Niki saw the like casting call on a Facebook group from her former president Tom, and it took a little while to get things going. We kind of had brainstormed the idea. It was Tom's idea for kind of the plot, but he was like by no means like a qualified kind of like writer. So when Gordon had joined, most of us had hardly any idea of what, kind of to actually do in the filmmaking process. So Gordon came in and wrote the script for Photographic, and we kind of obviously worked through the various stages of getting towards like
Something
completing
shootable.
that. Yeah. So it took a good while to finish the scripts kind of thing. A few iterations and stuff, and obviously like from doing that we learned how to go about like writing a script. Like I had no idea about how to do it, and I wouldn't say I'm by any means an expert now, but it helped.
Yeah, and
me
for
learn a
me
lot.
that was I'd only ever written a script before. I'd done a course in City of Glasgow College, and I had to write like a 20-minute script for it or something, which was complete bullshit. And then so that was basically my first script, and I just started a script writing module and like my degree here, so that was very fresh as well. I think I just read the BBC guidelines of how to format it and went for it.
Away we go. So yeah, that got completed, and it was looking good. We're excited. It was about like 35-40 pages, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And so then we started like putting out the casting call. We put out the casting call quite early,
Yeah.
so it took a few months to kind of get around to actually filming it. But we've managed to find a couple of good people, Niki being one of them, Finlay the other. We also had worked with Josh, and then Sonny. So we had quite a few people kind of working on the project, and like both me and you, Gordon, had to star in it as well because we couldn't find any more actors.
Yeah, because everyone went for the main part, which is apart from Sonny, he was the only one that was like, I want to be a victim.
I want to be victim number 4.
I
That
want
was his
specific-
dream role.
Well, originally when I applied as well, I only applied for the schoolgirl victim.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened. I just came for the audition, and then because obviously there was not any speech,
Yeah.
he was like, you know what, just send in a tape for Jane, and I was like, oh, okay, I thought I'd be too young, and then he was like, yeah.
Yeah, to go off on another tangent, why was that why you didn't go for Jane? Because I kind of wondered that with Sunny as well. Why people is it like a confidence thing? You're like, I don't want to go for the main part.
It was because I thought I was too young for it. Because I was 17 at the time, so when I read the casting call, I was like, the only one that I'd fit would be one of the victims.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and then. Tom, sorry, was like, just apply for Jane. I was like, okay, cool, done it, got it. I was like, oh,
there you go.
Okay. So I was quite happy with it.
Yeah, you done well.
We definitely managed to find a pretty good actress for Jane.
The main two, her and yourself and Finlay, were definitely
really highlights.
For
I mean,
for the roles.
Obviously, like, we still work with both of you, like,
For a
pretty
reason.
regularly.
Yeah.
So,
Thank God.
Yeah.
You know, good to know that I'm still up to standards.
I mean, yeah, let's not blow your trumpet.
Yeah,
Much, but
yeah, not to like,
I'm joking.
yeah, really hype you up too much, but somewhat failed-ish project where we never made it, but all the scripts were, 95% done.
Yeah.
One of the characters that I came up with, I basically wrote with, like, you in mind, Nikki. So I obviously thought you were a pretty good, like, actress in general. Is it actor or actress?
Well, apparently it's both. I've heard, like, people are trying to make it actor, but I've heard so many actresses refer to themselves as actresses. I don't think.
I refer to myself as, like, both. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like actor, actress. I kind of feel like actors, well,
I think when it's general,
Yeah.
it's like actor, but if
Yeah.
you're like, I need a female actor, it's just actress.
Actress,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're okay with both, I'm just making sure I don't say the wrong thing.
yeah, no.
The hate crime. Don't know that. Gosh, that protest earlier. We won't go into that. No politics
No
on this
politics.
podcast, unless we're writing a spy thriller set during World War II.
Yeah, and I'm not allowed to be sectarian anymore because of that hate crime bill, so we can't get into politics, I'm afraid.
I've just had to mute Gordon's mic. He's just gone on a massive sectarian ramble. That's a joke, to be clear, guys. He's not sectarian in the slightest. He's a very respectful and progressive man,
Yes.
much like all of us at StrathTV, contrary to what some people thought from our Instagram recently.
Yeah,
Again,
I'd actually like to point that out. You always refer to yourself as only the ex-president, but you're much more. You're also the social media manager, the fucking our marketing guy,
Yeah.
our graphic designer. Actually done more acting than some of our actors.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, maybe I undersell myself a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of came back this year. So after, not being president anymore, I kind of wasn't even going to come back. And then I just was like, Gordon came back because he'd been away in Spain for a year. And I was like, you know what, the club seems to be doing kind of actually going to be active this year, and there was real drive. And I was like, you know what, I'll come back. So I came back, and I kind of was not really going to do much. I was just going to be like there to help out. And
Yeah, I think I kept giving you things like,
Yeah.
can you help?
yeah, it was a lot of like Gordon not knowing how to do certain things that
Yeah.
I kind of knew, and then a lot of me just kind of offering to do stuff as well. And I ended up just with more and more, like, our former social media manager, Juliana, had to drop out of
Yeah, she
like
became
the role.
president of Ukrainian Society.
Yeah. So like she had a bit too much on her plate. So then I was like, oh, you know what, I'll step into that role. Like, I've kind of done it before a little bit, and I'd like to do more of that. And I'm very particular about my graphic design kind of stuff, and I really enjoy doing it. So I just do all of that. So any of the graphics you've ever seen on like Instagram for any of her films, like all the credits,
Yeah.
stuff like that, that's all me.
Credits, logos, posters,
Yeah.
social media posts.
Yeah, quite a lot. I also write and direct. I've done 2 projects now. We're kind of working on a third one together. Have ideas for more, kind of in the process of those as well at the moment. So yeah, I do quite a lot. Done a bit of acting. Not my favourite, but I can do it. So yeah, I suppose I'm a man of many talents.
Man
in
of
some
many
ways.
talents.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little bit bit shy now. I'm blushing a little.
Well, yeah, I'm not letting you get away with short selling yourself.
Where were we? I've kind of
I know, I kind of
lost track. So, well, we were just talking about photographic. So yeah, back then, I didn't have any of those talents really, and I've just kind of learned all of those through working.
Well, you also done the posters for Photographic.
That is true. Yeah, I had a bit of a graphic design
kind
of somewhat background from my time at school, so I had a grasp. But I've definitely improved over the years.
Yeah, well, every one you do is getting better and better.
Yeah.
That losing track one was.
Yeah, I must say.
Chef's kiss.
Big fan. So yeah, we'd kind of obviously written the script, found the actors, and then moved on to start shooting. So like our first day of shooting was in Tom's flat, I believe. Am I remembering?
Was that the first day, or was it when we had Josh and Finlay?
The first day, yeah, was when we were up there.
Yeah.
And then we were all kind of like, I swear we were just like, yous were like focusing on the camera and trying to do the camera. And then yous got to do the therapist shot. And then that was it. And it was like, oh, but you know what? It was so fun to watch.
Yeah, I remember that because we had, I think you were there, Sonny was there if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like 5 or 6, so we had like 6 crew members, I think.
Yeah, I think I must have not been there at that time because I think it was like working or something.
Yeah, maybe
so I think that's why I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
That was the first day because that was the first day I was at.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the first day was, I don't know the name of the building, but up behind the teaching and learning building. And we just found Finlay and Josh doing a scene. And that was when, like, when I seen Finlay, I was like, good man, good actor. He's convincingly, is that word, convincingly?
He's a one in a kind.
Yes, one of a kind. He's a convincing serial killer.
Is that a compliment?
Well, in this industry.
Yeah, convincing. I guess, yeah. If he's acting, it's a compliment. If he's just generally a psycho, then maybe not, because he's bad at hiding it.
We'll let him tell that story, but
yeah,
I believe he has been given that somewhat backhanded compliment before.
A couple of he has, yeah. So sorry, the Tom's flat. That was the second day, I guess.
I think it was maybe a couple of days in.
Yeah.
But that's like the first one I remember. Like, I sometimes look back at my B-reels. Not that I keep up to date with them these days so much, but I have a photo of that, and I remember it just being so novel. Like, I'd never done anything like that, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone around me thought it was so cool as well. Like, the idea that we're like shooting a film. And that was the first time I met Katie as well, because at that point I don't think she'd maybe come to a meeting that I'd missed. So that was like the first time meeting her, which was really cool as well.
I would like to take full credit for that.
Yes.
That was because in my script writing class, I mentioned to my professor, because she asked if I'd done scripts before, and I was like, I literally just wrote one for a film we're shooting. And then I think she said to Katie, and then Katie messaged me, and then just appeared. And then now we know Kathleen Palmer. I forgot her second name there. Katie
I know,
Palmer.
I was going to come in and I was like, wait, what is her last name? So yeah, that was just with Finlay that day. It was kind of, because obviously we shot out of order, as we usually do in this process. And it took a good, like, how many weeks did we shoot for?
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
I think it was close to like 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it wasn't every single day as
No.
well. It was just when we could. It was like a summer, basically. It was like for summer.
It was, I was living in like student halls when we started, and then I had to like leave in early June. So then I was traveling in quite a lot during that time, just whenever I wasn't working and stuff like that. But yeah, it wasn't every day, but it's a bit of a nightmare, like scheduling all these people, obviously.
Oh my god.
And Nikki, you kind of didn't have to go through all of that because you kind of wrapped. It was only a couple of weeks for you, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wrapped at the end of June, maybe.
Did you not have like a deadline, like you were going back to college or something?
No, I think. Oh God, I don't know. I just remember. I remember rapping, and I remember, like 2 or 3 days after rapping, I dyed my hair. Big regret, because my hair turned purple, which was not the goal. But I remember it was only, I think, a few weeks for me, but it was definitely like at the end of June.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, because the last photo I have of filming is when we done the scene where Gordon, who played Jane's boyfriend, I can't remember the character's name. Paul. Like hit Jane. So there was just blood, and there was this like very silly photo of me looking down at my phone and just going like sticking my tongue out, and with the blood on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's like my last little memory of it. And then that day we wrapped. But yeah, it was only for a few weeks for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't as long as 2 months for me.
I think we were trying to be kind of conscious with some people's time. Everyone except from Finlay, basically, because we have it the entire thing.
Yeah, we were trying to kind of organise it so that people didn't have to be there if we didn't need them. And
well, that was a process we had to learn.
Yeah.
Because in the first week, like Niki said, in like the first day, we asked like 3 or 4 actors to come, and we only ended up using 2 of them.
Yeah.
So the rest were just kind of sitting in the background awkwardly. And then we learned a lesson from that to try and be more logistically sensible.
Yeah, and I think it was a big undertaking for the first project because there were so many locations, so many characters, you know, in the grand scheme of making kind of short films. The film was like 40 minutes in the end. So it was a big kind of undertaking, and I think we learned a lot, but it was kind of like getting thrown in
it was
into
good.
the deep end.
Yeah, it's trial by fire.
Yeah.
It was the film that walked so the rest of the StrathTV
So
shows
StrathTV
can run.
Yeah, exactly. It was an experience. And like Niki, for you, obviously it's like one of the first films that you did. I imagine you look back like somewhat fondly. I feel like we all kind of do.
No, I definitely do as well.
And I do remember you when we had our premiere for it. Finally, you practically literally cringing
No, yeah.
when you would come on screen.
Yeah, because I invited a friend with me, and it was like very awkward because I was like, oh, I forgot how bad I kind of was.
Had you seen it? And you
that
hadn't
was
seen the
my
full thing?
first time seeing it. So I was like, wait a minute. I don't know how this looks. This could be like good, bad, whatever. And then I just look back and I'm like, oh Lord, that is it. Like, I really hope we remake it one day so I can do so much better than that.
2031, we'll remake it.
Oh my God, yes.
The 10-year anniversary of Photographic. I'll think about the visual, like, graphic for that right now.
You've got a couple of years, 8 years.
We can go back to the stump, refilm it there.
Oh gosh, the memories. So yeah, that was obviously a big kind of learning experience for us all, as basically the first film project for most of us, bar Niki. But yeah, like we obviously kind of had a big break after that. It came out kind of. We had like a somewhat premiere. Me and Gordon edited it, which took quite a while. So like from the time that we filmed it, and especially for like you rapping Niki, it's a long time for release, and you didn't see it until like over a year later.
Yeah, I waited. I think exactly a year after it premiered. Because I couldn't come to the premiere, I'm pretty sure, because of school. Yeah. Because at the time I was still in high school. Sad.
Yes, school child.
Yeah, but it was definitely, it was still worth, like, you know what, to think back, it was so fun.
It was so fun, yeah.
And you get to know people. Like, I wouldn't know you guys if I didn't do that project.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as much as it was maybe a bit of a disaster, and we watch it and we all go, oh, this is not great. Some of my fondest memories of filming anything are from filming that.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Yeah.
And I think, like, it helped us all kind of grow closer overall, because I think before that we weren't really, like, we wouldn't consider each other, like, friends or anything. It was just, we were just kind of people that we knew.
Just in the club.
Yeah, just in the club together, and then kind of that, it was the thing that kind of all that time spent together, you know, working together with, like, this shared goal kind of pushed us forwards, and yeah, it was a great experience overall. Yeah,
definitely. Now, like, we like Finlay as well. We probably had more nights out with him than we have had days filming.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, like moving kind of. That wasn't the best segue in my life, I must say.
You'll get better with time.
Yeah, we'll get better. Yeah, moving into kind of more current stuff that we've worked on. Obviously, Niki has grown as an actor and in age, not in height.
Yeah, sadly. Didn't get that gene.
Don't worry, me neither, bro. Me neither.
And me and Gordon have grown as filmmakers
And an age.
and an age and number of Spanish girlfriends or failed Spanish girlfriends
we'll go
tier. We have worked on a lot of projects this year. Gordon kind of came back and was like, we are going to produce stuff. I remember not that long ago, I looked back at like all of the introduction things that we have on Instagram for everyone. It was like president introduction. Gordon said, like in year one, you're like, I want to increase StrathTV's output. And I would say you have very much done that.
Yeah. Came back with a fire under my arse because we'd spent like what together this would be the third year as a club.
Yeah.
And we hadn't published anything.
Yeah.
We'd made a film, but we had nothing. The club had nothing in its name.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was let's make some stuff.
Yeah. I won't go into it too much, but basically in my year as president, I had a lot of time at times and then a lot of not, like way less time. And it was just a bit, I saw that Photographic was a 40-minute long behemoth with loads of locations and loads of actors. And I went, I raise you an 8-episode, 100-minute sitcom with 5 main characters that you need every single day.
Every single time, yeah.
And thought that was a good idea. And obviously, it never came to fruition because
I think if money was involved, if we could pay people, would have been fine.
I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like I would have done it without pay either ways.
No, yeah,
I think
of course it's just harder to get like everyone.
Yeah, I think one of the main like things, especially like see the thing that I see on Facebook all the time, is like, this is atrocious. How do you expect people to not get paid? But you forget that the first way to like start filmmaking is you're gonna not have a budget to pay people.
No.
But it's also good experience, and people forget that you're also gaining like a show reel out of this. Like you can still use the material.
Well, that's the thing now. The word like exposure is like a dirty word because it's like, but it's for your show reel. You get exposure, then it's like I can't feed myself in exposure. It's like no one's expecting you to.
Yeah.
It's like I actually had an argument with a guy on Facebook about that because it was like you basically shouldn't make short films if you can't pay your actors. So it's like, so in our case, where we literally have no budget for that and no means to do that, we should just not make anything then.
Yeah.
We should, like, you're just going to put a financial barrier to, like, filmmaking. It's a bit classist.
The thing is, though, a lot of people on Facebook, like, a lot of the actors are usually young and they're just starting out.
Yeah.
You can't, like, I'd feel like, well, obviously I'd be a bit happy if I got paid for doing a bad job. Yeah. But, you know, also I'd feel a bit guilty because, like, it is still experience. This is, like, a society. Like, this is for fun, but also it is professionalism. But you can't expect people who are just starting out to pay. And also, you do have something in it. And even if it isn't money that you can't feed on, like the creative industries is kind of that. You don't. It's very difficult to have stability in the job, and you can't always expect, especially when you've put out there that you're a TV union. You can't. You're not expecting. Why would you be like, pay me?
Pay me, give me money. You don't have student.
Yeah, I think if we were some big like corporation and we were like,
and you're like
taking,
not paying them, that's criminal.
Like, no way, but. Like, when people say stuff like that, like, we aren't getting paid. I think about the man hours I put into this, like, all of us do, apart from some of us. But, like, I don't even blame those people because it is a lot of effort for almost nothing. Like, we, you know...
Just goes into the void a lot of the times.
To be realistic, like, we pull in, like, maximum, like, a couple of 100 views on films, and we put in a lot of effort, and like I'm making these visuals like to market it, and editing, which I don't even enjoy that much, but it's
Yeah.
part of the process. And you're putting in these films, and all these people are putting in a lot of effort, and none of us are getting paid, and we're just doing it for the love of it. And I think in some ways that is really good.
Yeah, it's as long as we've got the passion for it, we're creating it to the best we can.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got... See, the thing is, though, if you're a filmmaker or you're an actor and you lack the passion and the energy to be there all the time, then it isn't made for you. You
Yeah.
should be putting in all your effort. And even though right now, obviously, especially because I'm not sure if you guys are currently, like, you are full-time students, and I'm a full-time student, but I'm obviously doing what I want to be. I'm training to do what I want. But doing something on the side is so difficult. Like, I still play drums, but keeping up with drums on the side of college and doing college work is so difficult. It's not like... It's very difficult to keep up, but if you put in as much effort as you can, you're going to still get a good result.
Yeah, I think is when it's when you're not, especially at the amateur level, if you're doing it for money and not the love of it, you're doing it, going about it wrong.
Yeah.
But sorry, we went now another tangent. You were
Yeah.
explaining how shit.
Yeah. Oh, so the show was called Shit, so that doesn't count as a swear.
Yeah,
Don't-
that
no
is.
one,
It's sh exclamation mark T.
yeah, no one come for us. We made it stand for something stupid so that we could circumvent the union
The legality.
being mad or whatever. But yeah, it didn't really come together. But I think it was great. Like, I wrote 4 of the episodes of the 8, and then Gordon, you wrote 1, Cameron wrote 1, Katie wrote 1, and I've not thought about Nix in a while. Nix wrote an episode.
yeah.
I miss her. She was
Yeah,
nice.
never came back.
She's not dead. She just didn't come back to the club.
Which is the same.
Which is fair enough. Yeah, dead to us.
Yeah.
I'm joking. You were nice. You were nice, Nix. Thanks for writing that episode. So many people do it at some point. But yeah, going for really long content like that was not the right thing for the club. And that was kind of my mistake. And I didn't have the time, and no one else really had the effort, because I started working full time at some point in the process. So I just didn't have the time. So yeah, Gordon coming back and kind of being like, let's increase output, came in with a script for a project that he'd shown me a while ago, kind of thing. So we had a script ready. We just had to get actors. We had to get everyone together. That was the steps we take. We'll just glaze over that really quickly, because we'll talk about that one with like Finley or maybe Claire, if we get Claire on here. And yeah, so that was kind of the first one. We did that really quick. That was like October, November, something like that.
Late October, early November.
Yeah, so that was like, we started in September and we got that going real quick. So that kind of like started the ball rolling, yeah. And then I had written something. I got most of the way through it, and I was like, maybe, not everything has to succeed and not everything has to be a great idea. So kind of was like, maybe not. And I came up with an idea for something else, which ended up being Sad Girl Hrs. And
starred by...
Well, yeah, starring Niki Reiter.
Our very own.
Didn't write. You should change your last name to Actor.
Wow.
That's so creative.
You should change your second name to Writer.
Oh, thank you. I feel honoured. What about, like, I don't know, like, do you know people with, like, double barrel last names? Like, but I'm, like, writer, director, social media manager.
Aidan written and directed by Aidan, writer and director.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Maybe I should do that.
One of my friends has a double barrel name, like surname, and it's quite cool. Can't lie.
What is it?
It's Collins Humes.
Yeah, Michelle has one as well, because like if you're a Spaniard, you take your dad's first name, your dad's last name, and your mum's second name, so but in that order. So she's Michelle Romero Arias, and it's just like that for Spaniards. It's always double barrel, and they don't have middle names.
I don't have a middle name either.
I have to.
Oh, okay. No need to flex.
I'll give you one of them.
Oh, thanks.
If you swap me for your last swear word,
Oh, you know what?
you can have.
You can have it.
Andrew or David, whatever one.
No, but I'd love to have a double barrel name. Like, I actually wanted to so basically I wanted to make my name, so my first name's Nicoletta, and then I wanted to get my mum's last name, Reiter, but I still want to do it. It's just kind of me and my mum bickering over the order because she wants it to be Reiter, but I want it to be Reiter. But you know, if we can't all win.
Say that in her accent though.
Yeah, because it's one of those
First time I've
surnames
heard it.
that you can't say without the accent.
Yeah.
It's like, but the thing is though, like, yeah, it's just one of those. It's because the vowel, like the je, because you don't get that in English. Oh, I just banged the chair. But
We'll fix it in post.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have a name like that. Like, my middle name is Murphy, which is my mom's last name, and Cooper is my dad's last name. So I, like, kind of have a double barrel name, but don't feel like as much
Like
of a
you,
wanker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite cool. But I think you should do that, Nikki, and you should take on that extra name because I think that's a cool ass name, and you know, get your heritage in there.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of spice.
Some sugar, spice. But it's just because I feel like I'm more closer with my mum's side of the family, and as much as I do appreciate it, like the thing is though, I'd feel very bad about getting rid of Reiter because it's kind of like what I've known my full life, so it's like, oh, that's my identity, like identity crisis moment. But I also like I feel like I need to appreciate my mum's side, and also because of my papa, I'm close to family, kind of, sort of, I suppose. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Oh, yeah.
Somebody take the mic off.
Somebody move the mic away.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice. I'm glad that you've got a nice close family to support you. A bit. Not quite like Sasha from Sad Girl Hrs, who could have used a little bit more support. That was okay.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
See, you're getting there.
I'm getting there.
He's getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
But
This presenter thing. Add that to my
Yeah.
however many barrel name. Yeah.
Quadruple
barrel name. Segwayer.
You're going to end up like a Iranian king. You're going to be like Aidan and the fourth.
Yeah, it's just gonna. Yeah, my
Take on
kids are
lives.
gonna have a great time.
Great.
Jeez. Yeah, what if I get married as well? If someone has to take my name, oof, I feel very bad for them.
Or you can double barrel it. Well, yeah.
Yeah. What
they
if
can
jeez.
add on all the barrels
names.
to theirs.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, that's filling out forms.
Yeah.
My passport.
Yeah.
It's gonna have like a foldy out page. Like, normal thing.
An A4 sheet.
Yeah, just like my copy of Wii.
Sad Girl Hrs.
Sad Girl Hrs. That is a project that I had come up with the idea for, and I've written. I wrote a little while ago. It didn't take me very long because Sad Girl Hrs, if you've
Has
seen
no
it,
dialogue.
sorry,
Has no dialogue.
has no dialogue, and yeah, so it was very easy to write. Relatively, it was just kind of more. It was more like direction of things to do rather than writing because there's no words, but it's a fun script to write. And then I was thinking, I was like, you know, who am I going to kind of cast for this? So I was like, I think, you know, a female is probably better for this. I just had like I don't really know why. I was just like, I think that suits better than a man. And then I was like, thinking about it. And I think it was you, Gordon, that actually mentioned maybe like suggested Nikki.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't really done this in a while. I've not really thought about casting anyone. So I was like, who should kind of do? Should I just put a casting call? And I was like, oh, actually, yeah, I'll just reach out to Nikki. Just asked you, and you were pretty happy to do it.
Yeah, I'm always up for like fun projects. I'm kind of, I don't know, I like to do stuff outside of already what I do, and I felt like it would definitely be like a bit of a challenge because I'm much more like confident with dialogue. So I was like, oh, this is very movement-y. Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And also, I was just like, oh, a StrathTV project. Might as well, you know.
Last one was fun. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And it was only going to take one day to shoot, so we just organised one day, and it was a much, like, still to date, probably our smallest crew that we've done.
Yeah.
So we just went to my flat that I was staying in at the time, and Gordon came along. We kind of set up a bit. And then Nikki, you came along like about an hour later or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're kind of just ready to go, and I was kind of moving out at the time, so we just kind of set up like the camera and the gimbal on like my weird stands that my mum found on Facebook Marketplace for me, and it was just like basically the idea of Sad Girl Hrs was just like this one angle. It was kind of like this girl, Sasha, sitting at a computer, and she was like facing cyberbullying kind of thing. If that wasn't fairly obvious if you've seen it. And yeah, so the kind of idea that we had was like, oh, that's kind of like her webcam kind of thing. And we wanted to make it look a little bit like older. So I think it looked really good.
Yep.
Like when, especially the finished product looked really nice. And obviously there was no dialogue, so we didn't have to worry about that. So it was lots of us cueing, you know, Niki to walk in at certain times or do this or, you know, click these buttons, and me standing next to the camera, turning the light on and off when Niki pressed the space bar on my keyboard. And yeah, it was really fun, like nice and easy. Like, it was such an easy day shooting in comparison to even something like Steps that we'd done like a month or two before. There's a lot of people and it took several days.
Oh my god, so many people. The audio was a nightmare.
Yeah.
This was a breath of fresh air. You're like, yeah, one person, one location, camera doesn't move, no audio. Beautiful.
Amazing. It was so good.
So good.
It had so many fun shots in it though.
Yeah.
Like, I can't lie, I really enjoyed it. There was a shot where there was like, you can't see the Coca-Cola cans, but basically she was meant to like, you know, be a big Coca-Cola drinker, and there's just like this moment where I go, woo, and I just like take all the cans off the table with my arm, like swipe them off. That was a really fun shot, can't lie, not gonna lie.
Some cola right up the white walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a wee bit of cola on the walls.
I was like, my deposit, no. But yeah, we did like, it was a fun, like, simple kind of day. We did record audio for certain things like the cans hitting and stuff like that. And then obviously we finished filming. It was relatively like problem free.
Yeah.
We did have a few cases of the giggles, as you always do on these.
Oh yeah.
We'll save my former flatmate Lewis some shame from his. Do you remember the somewhat? This wasn't a toilet incident, but do you remember the toilet thing? Yeah, we won't divulge, but yeah. If you're listening, Lewis, I'm sorry.
You know what you done.
You know what you did. I don't think I ever told them about that.
Shame.
But when I was editing it, you could hear it. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
And towards the end, like, Niki, you'd like smudged your eyeliner to make you look like sad, and like you'd been outside. So what we did to like try and make it look like you'd been outside, it started raining, so we stood outside for about 10 minutes and we just got slightly wet.
That's
like
right,
mildly damp.
That's
And it barely even worked. I ended up going to the bathroom and just like going under the sink and just wetting like the tips of my hair. So it was, because it was so ineffective, you could not even tell.
Yeah, that was not my greatest idea ever. But I mean, the other idea was like getting the shower head and like
clothes,
washing your hair for you.
Yeah,
so.
but I had work right after, so it would have been a bit like, oh, long story.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Why is your head so wet? And it was barely raining outside.
But yeah, it was a really good day shooting. You boosted afterwards. I can't remember. We just kind of wrapped up. And
Yeah, I think we just kind of hung about for like an hour.
yeah, it was pretty chill, pretty simple. And then the editing kind of started. It was pretty easy edit, no audio obviously. And I kind of, because the script was quite detailed in terms of what each scene was, it was very easy to just put all those clips together. I played about with the audio a little bit and some like effects and stuff. And the final scene was a bit of a difficult one because we weren't exactly sure what to do, but we kind of left it ambiguous, as I'm somewhat famously love doing. But I recently went to see my grandparents, and I was speaking about that with my gran, and she said, like, she likes to kind of go around subjects. So she was like, was that like a suicide thing? And I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, well, if my gran gets it, I think most people will get it. no offense, Gran, but I was like, that made me feel very validated.
That's cool.
And I'm just happy people watched it. It like did strangely well on
It done
YouTube as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, it done really well.
In terms of obviously our projects, like it's not got millions of views or anything.
I think it was definitely like my family like rewatching it like 5 different times, because obviously my mum's like that type of person to share it everywhere.
Yeah.
And we've got like this family group chat called like the clan. It's like it's so funny because she posted it and nobody responded to it. And it was so funny, but she's so proud of it, and so she'll go around and show it, and she'll be like, look, watch this, she was in this.
That's amazing.
So it was definitely like my family and then my friends, because then all my friends also went to follow StrathTV's Instagram, and it was just like the bunch of followers that were like people I knew, and I was like, oh god.
So what I'm hearing is if we want something and the club to do well, we just cast Niki.
Yeah.
Well,
free mum marking.
Yeah, that was kind of the plan. I was going to put you in most of my projects anyway. Kind of be like, you know, one of those director-actor pairs would be quite cool, because you're very, very consistent, very reliable, very good.
That's
so.
my favourite thing. If you can say your lines on cue, great. If you're reliable and you show up in time, fucking amazing.
Exactly.
That's why I love Finlay so much.
Yeah. Did your like family and friends like it then?
Yeah, I had to explain it because obviously English isn't their first language.
Yeah.
My gran watched it and she was like, "This is so great, I loved it." I do not think she understood the plot.
Oh.
But to be fair, I'm kind of glad she didn't. She also went to see like my production, and in my production there's a certain scene which the character does certain actions to themselves sexually.
Is this a Poor Things scenario?
I've not seen Poor Things, so don't spoil
reference.
it.
Sorry guys.
Oh no, spoiler. But yeah, so my gran had to watch that, but she also said that the production was great after. So you know what, honestly, you know what, maybe she's just a big supporter fan. You never know.
Yeah.
But I think they enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sure your gran had a lot of grandkids, so she's not clueless.
I mean, she's my great gran as well, so
well,
there's a lot of kids. But yeah, from as far as I've heard, like a lot of people enjoyed it, and you know what, I feel like even if they didn't, they would just say like, "Yeah, I enjoyed it," to make me feel nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like 100%. Like you were obviously the only person on screen for that, so you're carrying basically the entire thing. Like I didn't even feel like I had to direct you. A lot of the time you'd come up with great ideas of kind of things to do, and like I'd be like, I want you to convey this emotion kind of thing, because I like have a good grasp of kind of what I want you to show, but sometimes I don't know how I want you to show it, and obviously because it's you, like you understand yourself, and you kind of had some good guidance. And
I feel like that's kind of, as much as you like an actor relies on a director, also you need to be able to do stuff when a director gives you like an instruction, like not just like look sad so you look sad. You need to like show actions, like you need to sniffle, you need to wipe your eyes, you need to show that you're upset through like language, not just I am sad, I am crying. So it's also about being creative and finding ways to show it and making it suitable for the character in that sense.
100%. I can't like totally fully understand, because obviously I'm not an actor, but yeah, I kind of get what you mean. Overall is like, it's I really respect it a lot. Like I don't think I could do that myself, but I think it's really like commendable that you have the ability. And segue-ish, you mentioned about your most recent production. Could you kind of fill us in on what you've been working on recently outside of StrathTV? We kind of worked on another project together, and you were in it briefly, not that long ago. But some other things you've been working on. I know you've been quite busy. Yeah,
so I go to college, so I've been putting a lot of effort into that, and that was where my production happened. So it's a play called My Romantic History. It's a very good play. It's by DC Jackson. It was fun. It was the first production I'd done, so it was quite overwhelming as well. Tuesday was the longest day of my life. Like I was in there from like 9 o'clock till 10 p.m. Like,
Jeez.
so, like, 12 or 13 hours, I had a little cry session during that, which I'm not ashamed to admit at the end of the day, but also it's so overwhelming. But it was great. I loved it. Right now, I'm just wrapping up the year. It's very exciting, but also stressful. What projects have I done outside of college, though? I go to classes right now, and that's also kind of, we're putting together a production, which has been quite fun. And on the side, I've also been just doing music stuff, because for some reason I've had like a little like spark of music, and now I've got like a solid few songs that I've written, and my friend's like playing guitar for it, and I'm doing little drum beats for it, and that's quite fun. And that's kind of it. I'm just chilling, living life. I'm trying to put as much focus into acting, and sometimes while in training it's difficult to find opportunities and like look for opportunities on Facebook or like anywhere else. But like having StrathTV, because you are always writing something, and I know you guys, it's like, oh, I can always make, like, I don't need to like go searching for it. Like, I can just send you guys a tape and you are like, cool, sorted. It's just easy, and it's great because it's, I just feel like a little community. I feel special.
That's what we're trying to do, everyone, especially having resident actors that we've worked with and we know can fucking show up in time. They're good at what they do. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
It's obviously good to get new people now and again with like Frankie and stuff, but when we've got like yourself and like Finlay and Jacob and now Megan, it's really helpful.
Yeah.
And it's just cool because we get to know you better, and then it's like today it was just us three and Cameron, and it was a great reader.
Yeah, like I didn't even realize like that you did music kind of stuff before today. Like, do you want to tell us any more about that? Like, any kind of, do you have any plans to release stuff and stuff like that?
I do, but that's kind of a work in progress. Right now. Well, yeah, well, not to sound like a geek or anything, I have a 2024 vision board.
Ooh.
So on my vision board, because there's so many stuff. So one of them is obviously to do more acting and do more stage work, which I've done. I've done quite a bit of it this year so far. The second thing is to pass my driving test. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
To the danger of all Glasgow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Watch out, because I'll be on the road. One of them is also to produce my own music and to release it, even just one. And I've been working on one right now. Well, the one that I've been working longest on is called Picture Perfect. It's quite a cool one, but the start of it is so like, it fills you because it's kind of basic, but then it kind of goes into it and it's like, oh, this is actually really cool. And then I've lost my trail of thought. And the last thing on my vision board is going to Venice.
Ooh.
So I've got like 4 like kind of main goals. There was other stuff I wanted to put on it, like painting and drawing, because I done higher art in my last year of school, realised I actually really like art, and I was like, oh, okay. So now every time like a birthday comes up, my first gift is, okay, I'm just going to paint you something, simple as. And I feel like that's nice and personal as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get to do something fun. But yeah, so I definitely do want to release something, but I find that like it's very difficult when it's difficult because you need to find the time for it. You need to have the money for it as well. Like,
Yeah.
But we're trying to find ways that is less money. I'm trying to record at home, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, we can put you in touch, and I know you are kind of somewhat in touch with Katie anyway, but that's kind of her niche as well. So
And
maybe
that woman's in like 3 bands, so I'm sure you could talk her into starting a 4th.
exactly, a little dynamic duo. But that's very exciting. I'm sure. Are you saving it for your other podcast?
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, also I'm doing my podcast. But
Yeah, Nikki's the only one here with podcast experience, unless you have.
I've never been on a podcast. I've walked in on Ewan's podcast a couple of times, and got a bit scared and left.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a difficult thing, I think, as well, because, well, especially as an actor, I struggle to kind of be myself sometimes. And that's kind of, a lot of people I feel like with acting, they'll do it because they're being someone else. Like,
Well, yeah, that's what they say about actors. Normally, they just want to be anyone but themselves.
yeah.
It's like, why that?
Because I was actually thinking about it maybe Thursday. I was like, the reason I love acting is because I can do whatever story I want. I could, like, you watch stuff like The Notebook and you're like, you would never see that in real life. Like, you
Yeah.
would never see a love story like that. You get to, like, relive people's stories a million times. in a million forms, and it's just so fun, and you're just developing. And I feel like it also, for me personally, especially through high school, like, and still now, like, regulating emotions was very difficult. Like, sometimes I just wouldn't understand how I feel, but now, because obviously I'm working on how this character feels in my head, it's like, whoa, I can actually put emotions and names to emotions. So it's a beautiful thing, and I think the creative arts is just such a good way of expressing yourself. Even if you're being someone else, you're still expressing yourself to an extent. Yeah.
100%. That was some very well thought out kind of advice there. I was like, whoa, I feel like I'm listening to some seasoned veteran.
Pretty deep there. We don't
Yeah.
have water wings.
Yeah.
But
Well, speaking of deep,
oh,
we've got some new projects coming up
Yeah, we do.
somewhat soon.
yeah, we do.
And some of them may involve Niki. I was going to call you Nicoletta there, and then I remembered that you didn't like that.
She nearly stabbed me earlier for it.
Something would have been flung onto the other side of the room.
Yeah, thank God you don't have an oat hot chocolate this time. Great minds, great minds.
If it had, then the coffee would have gone cold.
Whoa, segue to tea. Oh, I'm sure none of you have seen it because it flopped a little bit, but I'm sure the YouTube algorithm will do bits for us. So yeah, we've got a few more projects coming up, kind of in the somewhat near future.
Well, we've got one coming out next Monday, probably.
Yeah, sometime next week. Yeah, hopefully Monday, but it's us,
Yeah.
so you never know.
Well, you're in charge, so it's you.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm in
It's-
charge. So yeah, maybe
Well,
late next week then.
Well,
So that one is by Johnny. We haven't really mentioned Johnny. Johnny's quite a new member.
Yeah.
Uh,
Johnny is the only, like, I consider you a committee. Johnny's the only non-committee member who I was like, because I said to everyone at the start, you can make your own thing, let's fucking do it. Johnny's the only one that really showed any interest that wasn't in the committee. And the only one that's done it that's not in the committee.
So that is kind of his first experience doing most of this stuff as well, and he's done really well. Like, I've seen the like almost finished edit, and I've kind of taken it to kind of add in the credits and some visual stuff, and I'm going to tweak some stuff, and then it's going to go out because that's kind of somewhat my job, one of my many jobs.
Many job titles.
Yes, add that on again. And so that one's coming out very soon, so that's quite exciting. We've kind of been posting that up on the Instagram. We talked about the poster a bit earlier, so yeah, that's exciting. And then we've got some other stuff we're going to be shooting next week as well. New project that you wrote, Gordon.
Yes.
I'm just somewhat time conscious, so we'll just kind of
Yeah.
go. We'll run over all this if anyone is still listening, which is highly unlikely. Maybe next week what we'll do is we'll open with this. And
Oh yeah,
kind
we
of,
can, because we've got Niki here, then I think pretty much we can end it with Sad Girl Hrs.
Yeah.
Talk about maybe some future stuff. I mean, we shot something today that's coming out.
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly.
Hopefully we'll premiere this on the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah. So we're hoping to somewhat. I guess this is a tease for you if you're listening. We're gonna surprise, in air quotes, drop the thing that we've been working on today and a little while ago. It's short and sweet. Quite excited about it. I think it'll be good. Hopefully you'll enjoy it.
I would like to preface that. So this was for Niki actually sent us a thing for a TikTok competition. It was a
Yeah.
1 minute video competition. So I said to Aidan, let's do this. Do you want to write the script for it? He's like, I've got you, Chief. Don't worry about it. So it should have been a page long. Aidan then told me, oh no, was that T?
That was T.
Ah,
Yeah.
so that was what T was originally. Yeah.
So if you've seen T, I think it's like it's only like 4 minutes. I
yeah.
think
It's a
Just
short
guessing.
watch.
Yeah.
it's still short.
But that should have been a minute long.
Yeah, so initially I started off and that was supposed to be a minute long, but then this idea kind of spiraled a bit. So then I was like, can't be that one. So then this idea kind of came up in its place.
For the minute thing. So this should be a minute long.
Yeah, and maybe we will submit it at some point if anyone likes it. So yeah, that one's quite soon. We're working on feature film for the summer, which Niki will obviously be in.
Yep.
And
Of course.
in some role. I don't know exactly which one yet, but we have a lot of characters to fill and
we
a lot of runtime to fill.
I've requested funding, so we're going to pay our actors. Nothing crazy, but you'll get money this time.
For
so
the first time.
it won't be like Photographic, where you give us 3 weeks of your life for a thank you.
You know what?
As much as you would,
3 weeks.
I know. But this time we'll give you some chip money. This time you can buy yourself some chips.
Oh, maybe. Geez, trigger warning for Niki there. No chips.
No chips.
And it's kind of in the early stages, but I have an idea for another project as well that we've kind of discussed quite a lot today, actually. That I think Niki would be a great fit for. So
I definitely like the idea of it when we were talking about it. I was like, ooh, I'm getting excited.
Yeah. So that's my homework, is to write the script for that. I have an idea for the name. I have an idea for the logo. All of my roles, all of my names are paying off, and I'm going to use all of them to make this project with the help of Niki and Gordon, I'm sure, who will always be you've been my assistant director on both of my projects, as have I
Yep.
on yours.
Yep.
I believe. And just to touch on it very briefly, Green, that came out a little while ago, which also has done very well on YouTube recently. Niki had a small role, as did I.
Which was a nightmare to edit around your smiles. And
yes,
laughing.
I couldn't keep my.
It was the happiest hostage ever.
Yeah, I couldn't keep my face straight. My face straight. My smile.
Yeah, straight face.
Straight face.
Straight face.
That's what I wanted to
There we
say. There we go. Yeah, I mean, we were tied up on my kitchen floor. It was somewhat comedic.
Yeah.
I was tied to the oven with duct tape.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I did not like. I felt uncomfortable, obviously, because I was like, whoa, this is like the first time. Like, this is like actually, I was like, oh, this is just funny. This is loud. But I was like, oh, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta do stuff. Like, it's all for it. But it was fun. And you know what? Looking back to it, also, I really like the short film. Like, I said to I think I messaged Gordon after I watched it. I was like, this reminds me of Breaking Bad so much.
That's the best compliment I've had.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was also shot in Aidan's in a day. I think a week after or 2 weeks after Sad Girl Hrs.
Yeah, we had a really productive kind of couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, as much as it's great to do big projects, we kind of just kept it on the hush. We didn't really tell anyone else, and we just kind of, especially because it was in my flat, I didn't really feel like super comfortable having loads of people there. So it was just a lot easier to kind of just do a few of us. And like Sad Girl Hrs, we didn't really have any issues with people. We had a few more issues on Green, more with actors than crew. I don't think we really needed more crew, but you played 2 roles.
Yeah, I had an actor drop out at the last minute, and I had to play a drug dealer, and then a driver. But the driver was whatever.
Yeah, that was all fine.
I actually had to speak.
Yeah, and I had to cameraman for one of the most important and like kind of involved scenes.
Yeah.
But I think it turned out really well.
I like that.
And it was.
A lot.
I even had the clapperboard. I was like, oh my god, can I
That's
do the
right,
clapperboard?
Yeah, I've got bloopers of you excitedly doing that.
Yeah, and then messing up because I was like, okay, this is scene this, and then wait, as a shot 2, and then take 3, and I was like messing up, but I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I realised we said we'd be time conscious with that, but yeah, Green, it was great. Had a laugh. You have also been my assistant director on everything. I'll probably still give you for Billy because you've gave me a cat cage.
Yeah, I'll be there one of the days as well.
You'll be there for the last hour.
The last hour of the
Which
last
you're
day.
also going to play a part in. So
That is
you'll be
true.
Apart from you would have played a part in 2 of my short films. And
Very,
that's-
very true. Yeah. Wow.
Also Photographic, but if we don't count that, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that one is a big collaboration hodgepodge. I guess you wrote it, but
Yeah, you would have been in as much of my short films as Finlay
wow.
after this.
I don't know if that is
I don't know how
a
I
compliment to me or an insult to Finlay. Probably the latter. On that note, I'm going to wrap this up. It's quite long as of currently. We said half an hour. Can I cut almost like 55 minutes? Probably not. So it's
Yeah.
going to be quite long. But any closing remarks, Niki? Do you have anything you want to say on the first edition of the StrathTV podcast? We'll get you back in 10 years for the
When we're-
anniversary.
When we're filming Photographic, remake, reboot, remaster.
That I think join StrathTV. StrathTV's fun. You get to do fun stuff. You know, just the usual.
If you see a StrathTV production, should you send in a self-tape?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, you should.
Was it the best thing you ever did in your life?
I'll be honest. Like, right. That's gonna sound as if I'm gonna say something bad. No.
No.
Like, see if you told 17-year-old me that I would be sitting in this podcast chair right now after doing another short film with you guys, I would be like, really? I'd be like, wow, I didn't realize like I'd be still like, you know, in my head, I was like, wow, this was like, that's kind of like a dream come true. Like, I'm connecting with people that love a passion as much as I do. Like, we're putting our ideas together, and that's cool. And I'm quite like, 17-year-old me would be like, you're doing great.
Keep
So,
will you pay her for that, or will
I mean, we've mentioned the oat hot chocolate quite a lot. The oat hot chocolate, chicken pasta from Greg's, and apple juice.
yeah, I get paid in food.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I think, like, I'll buy you. Well, did you buy the Copperbergs? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you've been paid somewhat.
Yeah. So
somewhat,
yeah,
I
the
would say.
promotion's bought and paid for. Thank you for that.
Gordon, on the first edition of the StrathTV podcast, you'll be back.
I'll be back.
Soon.
I'll be
Nikki,
back.
you're welcome back anytime. I mean, we've got 4 mics, so you know, even if we get Finley on the next one, and you want to,
yeah.
We
be
can have
in.
a big discussion about photographic.
I think that's a good idea.
that would be
that's
fabulous.
that's
Yeah.
a shout.
The photographic special
Yeah.
episode that would be great. I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys did too. Sorry, I'll let you go, Gordon.
No, I had a great time. Yeah. I would say join StrathTV, but it's almost over this year, and we'll all be moving on to pastures new, present company. But yeah, join it for next year. If you see my name, Aidan's name, or Niki's name on any of the various Facebook groups looking for either acting opportunities or to star in our films, please be nice and send in your tapes. And yeah, more to come, a lot more to come, even though we're almost finished this year. We've still got 4 projects coming out. We've got, well, including your thing, we've got Bully coming out, Aidan's thing, Nick, Jamie and Cameron are going to do 1 or 2 things.
Yep.
And then a feature film and the 48-hour thing. We've still got 6 things coming out. So.
Jeez, that is
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah, I mean, a lot to look forward to. Hopefully,
Keep your eyes peeled. Plug the StrathTV Instagram at
at strath.tv.
strath.tv. Go follow us. Yeah.
Is there a dot on it? I think
I
there's.
think
a
there is. I don't know if that's a YouTube channel or us. I'm pretty sure it is.
Surely it'll come up. It'll just come
It'll
up.
come up.
It'll come up.
It's
yeah.
got a really sick logo.
Yeah, it does.
And we are all posting it on our Instagrams a lot anyway, and I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're probably some way affiliated with us directly.
It's strath.tv.
It is strath.tv. Yeah, so stay tuned there for updates. Follow our YouTube channel. And yeah, we've got a lot to kind of come up in the next couple of months. So it's all kind of going. We'll try and be somewhat, no promises on this. I don't know if anyone will be sad that there's no promises. We'll make it shorter. That is
Yes.
the mission. This was just kind of
Tested
this
the
was the
water.
pilot. This was the pilot episode.
This wasn't
Yeah.
planned until like 3 or 4 hours ago.
That's the name. The Pilot Podcast.
Hey!
Oh.
There we go.
We got
It's
it
just come
there.
to me. That is a great name.
There we
you
go.
go. A StrathTV Podcast. The Pilot
Podcast.
Something like that. Yeah.
Pilot
We love
podcast.
You'll get there. You'll get
Yeah.
there.
You'll get there.
I love that, actually. That's really cool.
I can already see the cogs turning for a logo.
Yeah, oh no, it's in my head. It's going.
He's got the logo and everything
It's already
too.
forming, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm very excited about this now. So yeah, we'll try and be somewhat consistent with this. Probably just when we can get actors in to kind of do stuff. We'll definitely get back Niki because I kind of wish we had more time
Yeah,
to
I feel
talk
like,
just to you.
So currently we're about to go meet one of my friends for beer, and they're not in the country for long, so we can't keep them hanging. So next time we can be as long as we fucking want.
Yes. So yeah, the next podcast will probably be maybe a week or two time, something like that. I don't know how much I'll edit this. Probably a little bit, but I need to listen back to the whole thing.
Oh God, yeah.
So
Oh God.
maybe because this is the pilot podcast.
Just leave it.
We
you know what?
just raw. I'll put it in. I'll add a jingle. Nikki, if you want to supply the jingle on your little keyboards,
I've got a few jingle ideas.
please do.
Just a few.
I would love that. If it could sound like an airplane jingle, that would be perfect. Because pilot, genius.
Yeah, see the boys
The-
at marketing.
We can go to like Glasgow
Marketing master.
Airport and just record the planes going like.
Fabulous idea. So yeah, to sign out of the podcast, I'll just my name was Aidan, and thanks for listening, Gordon.
I'm Gordon.
That's Gordon, and Nikki.
And I'm Nikki. I don't know if you were gonna just go and that's Nikki and then that's a wrap, and I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, thanks a lot for being on this, Nikki. Thanks for putting up with us all day. And to fully close out the podcast, let's all make plane noises.
Okay.
That was a bit car-y, actually.